everyone. Welcome to the Haverhill Journal Live for Monday, June 7th, 2021. I'm Lindsay Paris, here with you tonight from the HC Media studio. Tonight, we have special announcements coming up from the Haverhill Vietnam Veterans Memorial Commission Chairman, Ralph Basiliere, and the Haverhill Multicultural Festival's Tita Antonopoulos. Both organizations have seen new developments in recent weeks as COVID restrictions have eased. But first, Mayor Jim Fiorentini is joining us for his latest update. Mayor Fiorentini, thanks for being on the show.
Glad to do it. Glad to be here on Monday, June 7th. And this is a really great day for the city of Haverhill. Today, for the first time in many, many months, there were no new COVID cases reported today. None. Now, that doesn't mean it's over. It isn't. If you remember way back a year ago, we had several days where there were no new cases. We went into the summer. People are outside. Viruses don't spread as quickly. And then all of a sudden in the fall, there was a big spike. We want to avoid that this year. So we're only about 50% vaccinated. I'm going to ask again, everybody that isn't vaccinated, get vaccinated. We do not want a spike in the fall, but we're going to have a normal summer. That's what I promised, and that's what it's looking like. It looks good.
No new cases. That is so great to hear, Mayor Fiorentini.
Thanks so much, Lindsay. I'll be back next week. Thanks.
Stay up to date with the mayor by subscribing to his blog at jimfiorentini.wordpress.com or by reading his updates on the Haverhill News page on Facebook. The city's newest war memorial, the Vietnam War Memorial at the Mill Street Park, was installed in 2020, but the installation ceremony was postponed due to COVID-19. The Haverhill Vietnam Veterans Memorial Commission has been working behind the scenes to plan a special event, and today the Commission's Ralph Basiliere has joined us with an announcement on it. Hey Ralph, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Lindsay.
So you joined us here back in October 2020 to talk a little bit about the memorial, and at the time you described the tremendous amount of work that went into making it happen. So just recap that for us a little bit.
Well, at that point it was a 2-year effort that involved a very broad-based coalition in Haverhill of businesses and service clubs and private citizens, and I had been charged with the mayor to make sure that this time that the Vietnam veterans came first. And with that as the mission, the commission has done its work, and the park is, we think, a very beautiful and inviting place for Vietnam veterans to come.
It is. I think it's one of the most beautiful parks in Haverhill.
Well, thank you.
It's just
Thank
gorgeous. The landscaping and everything. But now you have some exciting new developments, which is why you're here today. So tell us a little bit about that.
I am here with good news. We had to cancel last year's ceremony, which is very important to the Vietnam veterans and their families. So I committed that we would do that. Now, after consultation with the health department and reading CDC guidelines, we are going to have the dedication ceremony this year, Saturday, September 11th at 6 p.m. at Millbrook Park. Come on down, see the miracle on Mill Street. I promise you that the earth will shake and the sky will roar with thunder.
I am so excited, and we're going to be there too as well. So the public is invited to attend? The
public is invited. There'll be many more details to come. I put my commissioner, Linda Baxter, in charge. She's working with, she hand-selected Patrick Driscoll and Melinda Barrett to be on that subcommittee. They're hard at work. We have already booked the singers. We have the mayor speaking. We have Linda Dean Campbell is our keynote speaker, who worked very hard to get us $50,000 and is right now very much involved in the knife fight of, finding out what happened at the Holyoke Soldiers' Home. So she's a very fitting advocate for veterans. She's a great voice for us. We're going to be happy to hear what she has to say that day.
So this memorial is really special, especially for Vietnam vets. What does it mean to those vets and their families?
Well, last summer, we were receiving about 60 visitors a day at the park, which I'm still somewhat stunned by. There were days I went to the park and there would be 6 or 7 cars from states, Florida and New Jersey and Vermont, Vietnam veterans who had got in touch with each other and met there. This weekend, a Vietnam veteran who has passed, his family is going to have a small celebration of life there. So this park has become the place that we wanted it to be, a safe, beautiful, welcoming, reflective space that shows them, the Vietnam veterans, the respect that they have of City Hall and the love they have from their neighbors. long overdue. Glad to do it.
I love the educational aspect of it, because when I went there, there are several plaques describing, the Vietnam conflict, what happened there, what these soldiers went through.
Right, and there again, Melinda Barrett, who's been a great commissioner for me, has her signature all over it. She headed the historical subcommittee. It was basically her idea to pursue that. It was a great idea. It's one of the things that people compliment and comment the most on, and it's the thing they comment the most on.
Right, I noticed that for people who, were not living then, like myself, it's just, it's very educational for us and for future generations to come.
I agree. I couldn't agree more, and I'm really glad we did that. And that kind of sets us apart from the other memorials in town,
Right.
that we, for lack of a better way of putting it, went out of our way. It was a priority to, I think one of the best ways we could honor the Vietnam veterans is to educate future generations as to the cost and the complexities of warfare.
Right, exactly. Ralph, congratulations. You and your team have put in such a tremendous amount of effort, and now you're seeing it come to fruition.
We're close. We're very happy. And it's great to see you again. Thank God for Pfizer.
Thanks, Ralph. HC Media will also be filming the memorial ceremony in September, and you'll be able to see it right here on Channel 22. Way back in 2019, the Haverhill Multicultural Festival was planned as a major outdoor celebration for the summer of 2020. Then a global pandemic hit and forced organizers to change things up. Now the Haverhill Cultural Council is preparing to present the Multicultural Festival virtually this September, with programs highlighting music, cooking, storytelling, and more from the many cultures of Haverhill. And now Tita Antonopoulos of the Multicultural Festival Committee is going to give us more details. Welcome, Tita. So glad you could join us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So excited. So first off, just tell us a little bit, what is the Multicultural Festival all about?
Sure. So the Multicultural Festival is all Haverhill is such a mecca melting pot of all different types of cultures, lifestyles, and it's important, I feel, to bring all that together, because people don't realize how much they have in common until they sit together. Someone from Italy could have the same values as someone from Dominican Republic, but they'll never speak to each other because they could live on opposite ends of the city. Mm-hmm. So for us, we wanted to bring together that so people can embrace it. Who doesn't like food? Who doesn't like entertainment? Who doesn't like dancing? Like it's exciting. So,
I like all those things.
Yeah, so we started that, a couple years ago, and then as everybody knows, the world kind of stopped in 2020, so we had to just get creative. So we're bringing it back this year, and we're making it virtual so that everybody can see it and experience it and learn something about, another culture.
Right. Now, there are so many unique segments that you're planning that we've talked about. So tell us about some of the highlights that we can look forward to.
Sure. So we'll be doing a lot of it virtual with HC Media and, YouTube. So we have multiple exciting things happening. So we have chefs, authentic Italian food, Greek food, Jamaican food. So it's almost as if you're sitting in their kitchen while they're cooking it, and you can get some ideas. And I feel like you're going to be able to smell it through the camera. Okay. Can't taste it, but you can smell it. Then also we're going to have an all-female Mexican mariachi band with Veronica Robles, I'll say her name correctly, who is phenomenal in her field. Like, she is the queen in Boston, and she has performed at Carnegie Hall, everywhere.
Wow.
So we're excited to get her in as well. And you'll see that on TV. We have a rec shop movement. They're a hip hop organization out of Lynn, and it's a lifestyle. It's great. They're going to do what's called the Cypher, and I want to read it so I get it just right. So Rec Shop Movement, it's a hip hop collective and lifestyle brand, and they promote creativity, unity, and diversity through hip hop events and digital media content. So we do have a bunch of hip hop artists that are going to come in, and they're going to just do a cypher, and it's great because they get to feed off of each other while exposing people who may not know the positivity of the hip hop culture. So
Wow.
We think that will be exciting.
That sounds really cool. And
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about it myself, so that's something I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah.
Get familiar with that. So Haverhill Cultural Council is heavily involved in this, of course, and you're now
Yes.
part of the Haverhill Cultural Council as well.
I am. I got involved a couple years ago because, as I mentioned, culture is extremely important to me and my family. So, what better way to bring people together with food, with dancing? We'll have some Ethiopian dancers, as well as E.J. Willett, a Haverhill native, over 40 years in entertainment industry. He has a band and they're going to be performing, and it's great. He bounces from jazz to Celtic. We have a blues artist. So there's definitely a lot for everybody, but we still, we strive to get more.
Are you looking for any volunteers for this event?
Yes, we need volunteers. So if people want to get involved, they can find us on Facebook, MCF Haverhill, or they can email us, mcfhaverhill2020@gmail.com. We need all kinds of help. We would also love it if somebody has someone who's old school in their culture and they would be willing to tell us a story. Say you have your grandmother that came from Nigeria and she has an experience that we can learn from. We'd love to capture that on screen. We would absolutely love it. So if somebody wants to contribute anything, we welcome any culture, all cultures, all lifestyles. We're excited about it. I'm so excited.
That's really cool, yeah.
And it is sponsored. Of course, we got most of the grant from the Haverhill Cultural Council, which is part of the Mass Cultural Council. So, it's important. If you want also to learn more information on how to get a grant from Haverhill Cultural Council, go right to our website or our Facebook page, because grant season is coming, and I cannot stress enough, there's money there.
Yeah.
But you got to apply.
Right.
So apply, because
Right.
we want to give you a grant.
I love the Cultural Council, and I know that even at HC Media, we received grants for programs in the past. You have school field trip grants in the past. So, there's so much opportunity there. And like you said, you just have to apply, and it's out there for the people of Haverhill, for anyone.
And I try to we all try to get the word out as much as possible, because some people say, well, we didn't hear. It's there. Just look.
It's very
there.
easy. It's just like a 2-page application.
Oh, it's super easy.
Yeah, it's really easy. Yeah. Okay, so before you go, just give us the details again. Multicultural Festival, when, where, when can we see it?
So major details, we will be virtual. So we're pretty much taking over Sundays at HC Media, so people can tune in and check out the episodes that we're going to create. And we'll also have a whole load of content on our YouTube page, Facebook, all across social media. So it's absolutely worth checking it out.
Awesome. Come September, we'll all be watching here on HC Media. I'll be watching for sure. So thanks so much for coming in, Tita.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
While driving downtown, you undoubtedly have noticed the 100 beautiful banners dedicated to Haverhill's veterans now lining the streets. The Haverhill Exchange Club shared the story behind the project with me at their Hometown Heroes ceremony, and we spoke with 2 well-known local veterans about this special honor. 100 new banners celebrating our own hometown heroes are now visible all around downtown Haverhill. The Exchange Club, who organized the Hometown Heroes banner project, explained to us what went into it.
We decided on this banner program because one of my goals was to do more with veterans and active service members. So I wanted to initially do a field of honor with all flags. However, we couldn't do that. So we were still sitting here wondering one day what we could do, and Jen had the idea.
The idea was inspired by seeing a banner program done in another community. I was with my husband, who's active duty military at the time, and we were both profoundly touched by it. And we said, I think this is something that could be done locally in the Merrimack Valley. And then when Thea became president and she had all this energy, it was like, this is the perfect opportunity to bring something like this to Haverhill with some fresh energy and good leadership. And the city has it's been an overwhelming response. We are so fortunate to have the partnerships that we have with the City of Haverhill, with the Mayor's Office, with Luis Santiago, the DPW. So many people came together to support the Exchange Club and being the stewards of this program.
It's a surreal experience having the support and the energy that we have today. So many people coming out with the guidelines actually be taken away, with the mask and with the social distancing in place. Overall, it's a tremendous feeling to actually make this happen, to actually promote something that's actually going to give the individuals a visual and raise the morale of the veteran community and the city of Haverhill itself. It's a day that we remember and recognize the individuals that have passed, but we will never forget for their service and the sacrifices that they made to become a veteran and to serve our country for our freedom.
The banner route begins on Main Street in front of the library, then right on Merrimack Street, through Washington Square and down to the end of Washington Street. More banners can be found on Essex Street between Washington Square and Maria's Restaurant, and lining the Basiliere Bridge and the Como Bridge.
You have a banner, right? right?
I do.
Yeah. Tell us, how does it feel to be immortalized on a banner?
It was actually a surprise. My banner that was supposed to be sponsored for, I actually wanted to give it to someone else. I seen a veteran who was, in my eyes, better deserving than me. He was a Vietnam War veteran. I believe that he was better suited for the banner. And Pat Driscoll from the funeral home actually surprised me by sponsoring me, which was a surprise in itself. And it brought tears to my eyes, and I'm grateful for what he did for me. And I love the flag, and I love the energy, and I love what these people have done, such as the Haverhill Exchange Club. They've brought a certain energy to this city, the cohesion, the good positive vibes that I receive from everybody. I just can't thank them enough.
To have a hometown hero banner in the city of Haverhill, where the Haverhill Exchange Club is honoring hundreds of military, those who have served our country from World War II to the present, I feel is a distinct honor to be one of the banners. Having served in the National Guard for a few years and done a tour in Iraq and Afghanistan, it's nice to be hanging amongst the heroes before me and after me and alongside me. Over the years, I have become an advocate for veterans through going through my own struggles. I spent 7 years in the Army National Guard. I did a deployment to Iraq and Afghanistan. Using those struggles, I've been able to be an advocate today in helping veterans work through their struggles and doing things like this where we get to honor our veterans through the good, bad, and the ugly. There's no greater honor than to honor those who have served.
We initially started with 80 banners and we oversold to 102. We're still getting inquiries daily of about 10 to 20 people asking how they can purchase one. So we're taking down their names. We're having them follow us on Haverhill Exchange Club Facebook for updates for next year, because I have a feeling next year is going to be way bigger than this.
Contact the Exchange Club to get on the waiting list for next year's banners. And that's our show for Monday, June 7th. Thanks so much for joining us, and watch the Haverhill Journal live again at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m. every weekday night on Channel 22. And as always, keep watching HC Media for up-to-date information, series programs, public service announcements, and more. I'm Lindsay Paris. Good night, everybody.